In one of the most isolated places on Earth, the Taliban are building a road to China, a project they claim will change everything, but they are hiding the truth of what lies at its end. There is a strange strip of land on the map of Afghanistan, a place called the Wakhan Corridor. This remote territory is 350 kilometers long and separates Tajikistan from Pakistan. It ends at a tiny border with China. For centuries, it has been a land of towering mountains and nomadic tribes, a place practically untouched by the modern world. But this is where the story takes a turn. The Taliban are constructing a 120-kilometer highway right through its heart. They say it will connect Afghanistan to China and reboot the nation's economy. The project's importance could ripple across the globe. It offers a new land route for Chinese goods heading west, a potential key link in Beijing's vast New Silk Road initiative designed to expand its economic power. This road cuts through the very history of a nation defined by conquest known as the graveyard of empires. Now it points toward an uncertain future. We wanted to find out what was really happening there. The journey is incredibly dangerous. Getting to the Wakhan Corridor means flying into Kabul, then driving for days through unstable territory. The current government regained power in August 2021. Since then, the rights of women have been severely restricted and any criticism is silenced. Our reporter faced extreme risks. Altitude sickness is a real threat in mountains that climb thousands of meters high. Medical care is days away. Clean water is scarce, and you are truly on your own, but the story had to be told. After weeks of planning, the journey began on August 19, 2025. The route led from Kabul through Faizabad and then to Ishkashim, the corridor's gateway. But first, a look at Afghanistan itself. The country covers 650,000 square kilometers. It is home to roughly 43 million people. The population is diverse with many ethnic groups, languages, and cultures. Dari and Pashto are the official languages. Nomadic communities like the Wakhi and the Kyrgyz have roamed these valleys for generations. Historically, Afghanistan's location made it a prize for powerful empires. Alexander the Great conquered it. Genghis Khan swept through. The Mughals, the Turks, and countless others came and went. In the 19th century, it became the stage for a rivalry between Russia and Great Britain. This contest, known as the Great Game, created the Wakhan Corridor as a buffer zone separating their spheres of influence. After 3 brutal wars, Afghanistan finally gained its independence in 1919. The journey north from Kabul begins. It leads through the infamous Salang Tunnel, a 2.6-kilometer tube built by the Soviets at an altitude of 3,400 meters. The landscape is littered with the ghosts of past conflicts. A vast graveyard of Soviet tanks rusts in the desert. This is a reminder of the Soviet Union's failed invasion in 1979. They intervened to support a communist government against Muslim guerrillas. What was planned as a short mission became a 9-year war. Moscow received support from the Afghan government, while the United States funneled money and weapons to the Mujahideen fighters. The Soviets suffered immense losses and withdrew in 1988, but peace did not follow. The country collapsed back into a fierce civil war. By 1996, the radical Islamic Taliban had seized power in Kabul. The journey to the Wakhan is punishing. The crew suffers flat tires and breakdowns. They drive through the night just to stay on schedule. But the scenery is breathtaking. After 20 hours on the road, they reach Badakhshan province, a region rich in natural resources. Beneath its mountains lie an estimated $1 trillion worth of copper, iron, and gold. Taliban officials now control this wealth, but most of it remains untouched. In the provincial capital of Faizabad, the mission hits a major obstacle. The local ministry suddenly bans all filming in the region. An employee explains the order comes directly from the top. One reason given is that images of living beings are prohibited. Another concern is that if the story goes viral, neighboring countries might pressure China to stop the project. This is deeply confusing since the road has been promoted in Afghan news. Then out of nowhere, the ministry director calls. Permission is granted, but with strict conditions. They cannot film near the Pakistani border. They cannot enter the wildlife area. And most importantly, they are forbidden from going to the Chinese border, the very destination of the highway. They are only allowed to travel as far as a place called Bazai Ganbad, With no other choice, they press onward. After days of travel, they finally enter the Wakhan Corridor. The road splits. One path goes toward Pakistan, the other leads deeper into the Pamir Mountains. This is where the new 120-kilometer highway officially begins, a project the Taliban sees as their path back to the world stage. After their return to power in 2021, Afghanistan became increasingly isolated. The economy collapsed, unemployment soared, more than half the population now depends on humanitarian aid, and in this isolation, China has offered a lifeline. Beijing became Afghanistan's biggest investor. It is interested in the country's vast mineral reserves, and it sees the Wakhan Corridor as a potential extension of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, part of its massive global Belt and Road initiative. For the Taliban, this connection is a monumental prize, a symbol of economic hope. The team is now close to their destination, but the high altitude takes its toll. They experience strange dreams, shortness of breath, and persistent headaches. This is the reality of life above 4,000 meters. Finally, they reach the point where they are forbidden to travel further. The path to China is blocked to them, but we obtained first-hand footage of the border. It reveals a long green fence lined with Chinese flags. Behind it are layers of barbed wire. A camera is fixed on the fence next to a small guard hut. The so-called highway is not a paved road. It is a simple gravel path. This does not look like a hub of international trade. Was this why they were forbidden to film? Do they want to hide that the dream of thriving trade is not yet a reality? The reporter then turns his attention to the people who live here. The Kyrgyz nomads. These nomadic herders have lived in the high Pamirs for centuries. Their lifestyle is beautiful but brutally hard. Access to healthcare is almost non-existent, yet they have preserved their traditions against all odds. The new road has been a game changer for them. Before its construction, a trip to buy flour for bread was a journey of several weeks on foot. Now traders arrive regularly in cars. They bring shoes, melons, rice, and pasta. A small mobile shop on wheels. It is a real tangible improvement. But when the reporter tries to get official answers, he hits a wall of silence. He meets the project manager for the highway who agrees to an interview, then immediately backs out. He arranges a meeting with the district head of Wakhan, who is openly hostile. And then the General Directorate of Intelligence calls. They demand he delete all footage of the road and any construction machinery. The message is clear. The truth of this road is a secret. In reality, China is cautious. Beijing has its own security concerns. It worries that militant groups could use the road to slip into China. So for now, the grand vision remains a dream. The gravel road is not practical for heavy trade. Any real connection would require massive investment in infrastructure far beyond this single path. The new highway is a story of contradiction. A symbol of progress in a country where human rights are moving backward. Women are not allowed to be filmed. Girls are banned from school after the age of 12. And yet for the people of the Wakhan Corridor, there is a glimmer of hope. This simple road has made their hard lives just a little bit easier. Subscribe to Fern for more stories that uncover the hidden world.